Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 14 November 2024, Thursday night at 9. That means it's time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the thick of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First off, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale, which I will post on the screen for you in just a moment and then print in the description underneath this video. Also in the description, above the terms of the sale, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel. The first one is called A Primer for Buyers. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. So if you're new, please give that video a look. It'll make your purchase experience go much more smoothly. It explains in great detail how we do things and why every Thursday night. The second link pertains to you if you're interested in using this weekly sales vehicle to move along some of your own collection. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and it does what it says. It answers your frequently asked questions. The third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. Now's a good time to send knives, especially if you need your favorite Christmas present opening knife sharp before Christmas. Get it in quick. I think I can hook you up. Also in the description at the very bottom, the reason you came tonight is the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing for any given item, that means it's been bought and paid for by its new owner, so no need to send an inquiry or an I'll take it about anything marked sold, all caps, exclamation point. But if you see prices, there are generally going to be 2 of them, one to the left of a slash, one to the right. The one on the left is the price of your knife as shown in the video, and the one on the right is the price as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. No next day sharpening this week because I put myself a little bit behind, because I bugged out for 3 days and rode a motorcycle in Tennessee, so I didn't sharpen anything Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday this week, so I'm going to catch up a little bit on Friday. I think that's about it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? We're going to start it off tonight with, 5 leftovers from last week. All of them from GEC. Here's the first one. It is from the Tidioute line. Model number 130217 in smooth ivory bone. That is a GEC number 13 office knife. I believe this is my personal knife that I sold as part of a cull to fund my Honda Blackbird, which I rode in Tennessee this week. So it's built on the 13 Congress frame, and it's a half Congress with a main Wharncliffe blade in 1095 steel, wearing an Apostle P edge, secondary pen, nicely nestled with a little relief for the nail nick in the handle. Closed length on this one, 3 11/16. Pull weight, about a 6.5. Very nice. And then the office knife laser etching in the bone kind of gives it a scrimshaw look. Walk and talk, beautiful. Centering is perfect on both implements. 0 rub, I believe. Yeah. Very near mint in tube. These are unobtainium. I think it's the most sought after 13 GEC made. We ran this last week at $250, didn't sell. Dropped it to $220 for the weekend. It's still here. Somebody gets this one for $195. I should probably just buy it back for that. But I can't. So somebody gets it. That is the GEC Tidioute number 13 office knife with an Apostle P edge. Next up, we've got one from the Northfield Unexcelled line of Great Eastern Cutlery. This is the number 380321 in burnt orange jigged bone. It's the 38 English Whittler. Get a button with this one. Here's the knife on the stunning number 38 serpentine Whittler pattern. A true split back Whittler. You can see the wedge-shaped center spacer that terminates about right there. So 2 springs run the main, and each spring runs 1 secondary each. There's your burnt orange jig bone, the Sheffield shield. 3 7/8 inches closed length. The main blade is a stubby Warncliffe, cut swedge and a nail nick on a cam tang. Pull weight, I'm going to say that's a 7. Secondary implements are on half stops. Get a pen and a coping blade. Nice walk and talk everywhere. Beautiful blade alignment. Condition on this one, near mint to like new in tube with button. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $204 and $408. We ran this one last week at $195, didn't sell. Dropped it to $175 for the weekend. It's still here. Wow. Your price this week, $155. $195. I sharpen all 3 blades. That's the GEC Northfield, number 38, English Whittler. Next up, we had 2 of these last week, and we have 1 left over. I think it's a pretty cool knife. It is a Tidioute from GEC. It is the number 78 1124 in jigged orange Delrin. This is called the Rozee Barlow, her special edition. So for those of you who don't know, Rozee is a GEC employee who is the greeter at the rendezvous. And if you read the tube label, these weren't supposed to look like they look, but somehow Rozee made some parts wrong, and they had to build a knife around those incorrectly made parts. And Bill uses a lot of sarcasm on his tube label. A rare tube label composed and signed by Bill Howard. You got to go to the rendezvous to get the story on this knife, I think. So it's a number 78. Notice the long bolster, but not engraved, right? You have a shield that is stamped Rozee. 3 3/4 closed length, single clip, about an 8 pull. You have Rozee's likeness etched in the blade. Excellent walk and talk. Centering on Rozee, very close. Near mint to like new in tube. with button I just dropped on the floor. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $200 and $240. We ran this last week at $190. No takers, dropped it to $170 for the weekend. This week, $155 like it is, $175 with an ApostleP edge. The GEC Tidioute number 78 Rozee in jigged orange Delrin. Next up, oh, this is kind of a save me from myself moment. We've got a Tidioute from Great Eastern Cutlery, model 871223, the English Jack in Tidioute trim, wearing Hummingbird acrylic covers. So plain bolsters and end caps on the Tidioute. The crest shield, thank you to the viewer who gave me the name of that shield. Big knife, almost like 65 big. 4 7/16 inches in closed length. Model 871223. Main clip point. Beautiful, very similar to the Hogan clip. Cut swedge long pull on a Tidioute. And the PPP, Patty's Potato Peelers designation on the main. Large, usable pen blade is your secondary. Pull weight, I'll call it a 7, maybe a 7.5. Perfect walk and talk, perfect centering on both implements. Condition will be near mint to like new in tube. Saw one of these on eBay that sold for $169. That was it. We ran this one last week at $160, dropped it to $140 for the weekend. It's still around. Somebody gets a buy. I think this is about what it costs new, which is rare for a GEC knife. $130 like it is, $160. I sharpened both blades. The GEC Tidioute number 87 English, Jack, and a Hummingbird acrylic. Next, a long reach to the far corner of the universe. We've got a Northwoods knife with the coin. Comes in the old Main Street pocket slip. This one built on the Great Eastern Cutlery number 15 frame. It is the Lincoln Jack, covered in stunning burlap micarta, nickel silver hardware, including the, all steel construction. Duh. All steel construction. Single clip point blade, saber ground with the heat treat scale left on the flats, the Northwoods stamp. Beautiful walk and talk. 7 pull. I called the centering very, very close. The satin hardware still pretty good, but a little bit of slip wear. And there are some scratches in the blade face. If you look, you wipe the fingerprints and get you a good picture. Just a little, it's been used. It's a pocket knife. So we'll call it excellent to near mint in baggy with slip. Found one of these on eBay that actually sold, and it was an OD canvas micarta, which I don't think is as desirable a cover material as the burlap. Did $300. We ran this one last week at $295, didn't sell, dropped it to $270 for the weekend. This week, $250, like it is. $270 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Northwoods Lincoln Jack in burlap micarta. Next up, another save me from myself moment. Interesting knife here, a Great Eastern Cutlery from the Acorn line, the Great Eastern Cutlery brand from GEC. Notice it is in stainless steel. I believe these are 420 HC. I don't think they're 440. Somebody confirm that for me, please. Model number 651122SS in Texas Osage orange wood. Here you go. Your standard 65 bare end. It's an Acorn series knife with a bar shield. Probably because it's from Texas. Satin finished hardware and covers. Kind of a yellow tether cord lanyard with an aluminum Acorn bead. How about that? Closed length, 4 9/16. It's got the canoe bolster, which I think is kind of cool. It makes it a great user because it actually provides a little bit of an index point for your index finger. The blade, a single clip, full flat ground, beautifully polished stainless steel. The GEC etch, practical knives, nail nick, and a drawn swedge. Pull weight, kind of light, a 6, but nice. Beautiful walk and talk. Centering I have noted as off on this one. There you go. Definitely favors the top as you're looking at it. Who cares? We'll call it near mint to like new in tube. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $160 and $193 for this knife. Your price for this one, $150 like it is, $170 with an ApostleP edge. That's the GEC Acorn, number 65 Hogan Horse Apple. What a beauty. Next up, probably the sweetest of all the GECs in tonight's sale. It is a Northfield, model number 488224. I believe this was a special factory order for Mike Latham at Collector Knives. It is the 48 Slim Trapper with the improved Trapper blade set. 3 7/8 inches of closed length. Double lined bolsters, plain end caps, nickel silver hardware brass liners. The blade set, muskrat clip main with that long cut swedge and a nail neck. Secondary full length Wharncliffe, also cut swedge and a nail neck. Let's see, pull weight 6. Beautiful walk and talk. Blade centering. There's so much reflection. Let's see if I can get these for you. They're perfect. Near mint to like new in tube. No sold listings on eBay. This is a pretty recent run. There are 3 current listings for this same knife. And they're all buy it nows, and they range between $300 and $608. And I can pretty much guarantee you none of them have better Stag. Pretty nice physical match. A little popcorn on the mark side. Let's see if I was right. There it is. Collector Knives. So yeah. Your price on this one, not $300, certainly not $608. Let's do $240 like it is. $270. With an ApostleP edge. The number 48 Slim Trapper in Stag from the Northfield line of Great Eastern Cutlery. Next up, we have another one from Great Eastern Cutlery. This from the Tidioute line. It is the model number 725124. Plainsman in stained jigged muslin micarta. A very interesting blade, and this one will come with a button. Here's the knife. And that number 72, curved handle, swell center trapper chassis. The stain on this muslin micarta is kind of a purple. And kind of cool. Bare end. Satin finished nickel silver hardware, bar shield, single drop point blade, full flat ground, little drawn swedge and a nail neck, no edge. Let's see. Walk and talk, kind of nice. Pull about an 8. Blade centering. If it ain't perfect, it's awfully close. Condition on this one near mint to like new in tube. Let's do this one at 175 like it is. 195 with an ApostleP edge. That is the number 72 Plainsman from the GEC Tidioute line. Next up, oh, what a beauty. What a beauty. Another GEC, not our last one in the sale, but our last one for a little while. It's a Northfield, a number 87 English Jack, model 871223 in royal blue acrylic. I think I got a button and I forgot to let it out. Let's see. Why did you do that, Rob? There it is. Uh-huh. Okay. I thought, why do I have a Northfield English Jack with no button laying out? Anyway, here we go. Oh. 4 7/16 inches closed length. A long standard Jack pattern. The fancy bolsters, rat tail, double lined and pinched. Chamfered end caps with the unexcelled stamp. Sheffield shield, and there's that gorgeous royal blue acrylic. I mean, gorgeous. Main clip, polished cut swedge long pull unexcelled etch. Big usable pen blade. Pull weight, I'm going to say it's a 7.5. Beautiful walk and talk, and the blade centering on both blades is beautiful. Near mint to like new in tube. There is one current listing on eBay for this exact model. They want $285 for it. I don't think it's worth that much. Let's do $165 on this one. $195 with Apostle P edges on both blades. That is the GEC number 87 English Jack in blue acrylic. Next up, ooh, we have one from Russia with knives, custom knife factory offering. Let's see what we got in here. Some extra hardware. Got a red microfiber. Got a card of authenticity. Designed by John Sorensen. It's interesting how they give you all the steel options on the card, which is kind of funky. This is an S90V knife. It is certainly an Evo 4. And very interesting titanium handle. I want you to pick up the graining. It's beautiful. They call that barked, B-A-R-K-E-D, DLC finished titanium. Nice engraved CKF maker's mark. And then the pivot collar on this one is Timascus. Gear pattern backspacer in titanium. The pocket clip is milled titanium right hand tip up, barked but no DLC. The blade's open with the thumb studs or the hole. It's on ball bearings. A beautiful hand rubbed satin. Blade length on the Evo 4, 3 7/16. The handle only 4 5/16. So very efficient blade to handle ratio, but especially if you're using this forward choil, plenty of real estate. If you come back, you still got it, but the pinky hangs out on that angled portion. Titanium frame lock knife with a steel lock face insert. There's your lock engagement. Rock solid. Free dropper. Perfect centering. Condition. Near mint to like new in pouch. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $9.95 web retail. I found one sold listing on eBay for this exact model. It did $609, which would have been a pretty good buy, I think, but we're going to drop this one at a little less. $575 like it is, $605 with an Apostle P edge on that S90V blade. The Custom Knife Factory Evo 4. Next up, is this our only non-knife item tonight? I think it is. We got one from Olight. It is the Baton 3 Premium Edition. And I think this is also a limited edition. It is. So this is the wireless charging case. Your mini USB plugs in right there. Flip top. Now, I didn't take out any of the insulators on this knife, so I don't think I can turn it on for you, can I? No. It is the blue and purple fade pattern on the hard anodized aluminum barrel. 2 7/16 overall length. Side switch. Two-way clip, so it can go pocket or bill of cap. USB charging, the case and the cord are included, of course. Output, half a lumen to 1200 lumens. Runs on a 16340 lithium battery. It's like new in box. Never been charged or de-insulated. These are out of stock. This particular purple and blue limited edition model had a web retail of $156 when it was available. We're going to offer this one at $90. No need to sharpen. That's the Olight Baton 3 Premium Limited Edition in blue and purple. Next up, we have a Spyderco. It is a pair of 3 in M390. Yes, it is. Bento box exclusive with the blue G10 satin blade. This is wearing a stone-washed Casey Lynch deep carry clip. Titanium, 4-way positionable. No original clip on this one. What? I lied. Original clip included. Okay, so let's see what we got. 2 15/16 inch blade in M390. The handle, 4 1/4. Compression lock mechanism, phosphor bronze washers and an opening hole. Free drop in action. Rock solid lockup. And perfect centering. We're going to call it near mint to like new in box. Excuse me. Obviously, it's not like new because somebody changed the clip. Other than that, pretty much like new. Currently available at Bento Box for $250 plus the cost of the clip. So what's that? $270, $275. Your price on this one, $210, and it's a beautiful example. $240 if you'd like my edge on it. That is the Spyderco Pair 3 Blue M390 Lynch clip. Next, time for a little Chris Reeve action. A large Inkosi with inlay, red linen micarta drop point in S35VN. Here is your birth card. Born February 18th of 2021. One thing that you may or may not like about this knife, and by the way, the lanyard is intact but removed. You can just put it right back in. But the interesting thing about this knife is that I don't think this linen micarta took the red super well, which if I were going to own this knife, if I were going to own it, I would kind of prefer. It's definitely the red linen, but it's kind of muted in its tone. Okay, so let's see. What do we know about the large Inkosi? Let's see here. 3 9/16 blade, all stonewashed. The handle, 4 13/16. Reeve integral lock with the ceramic ball interface. And although it looks a little deeper, it's probably exactly 50% when you think about where the ball contacts the blade tang. Almost free dropping action, kind of a preferred tune for an Inkosi. Blade centering is perfect. Yeah. I wrote very slight carry wear. If you notice right at the nose of the handle, there's just a little bit of burnishing. Not really snail trails per se. Just from slipping in and out of the pocket. Similar on the pocket clip, just some very slight rubbing. So very near mint, in box. These are out of stock. If you could buy one of these new, it would cost you $650 from your favorite web retailer or direct from Chris Reeve. You could order one from Chris Reeve. It'd take about 6 months to get it at $650, or just buy this one. $495 like it is, $525 with an ApostleP edge. That is the Chris Reeve Inkosi in red linen. Next up, we have an offering from the Benchmade Knife Company, Oregon City, Oregon. It's the 940-2 Osborne. This is kind of one of the user 940s, right? Black G10 instead of the green aluminum. toxic green standoffs, Parkerized Emerson style clip. Oops. Opens with thumb studs. Blade is S30V. 3 3/8 blade, 4 7/16 handle, axis lock mechanism. Not quite a free dropper as it's currently adjusted, but I'm sure it could be. Eminently flingable and flickable. Centering, I think she'd be dead down the middle. Lockup is rock solid. Near mint in box. Price of these brand spanking new, $207. Web retailer Benchmade map price. Your price for this one, $160, like it is. $185 with an ApostleP edge. The Benchmade 940-2 Osborne. Next up, from Spyderco, we have a Paramilitary 2 in CPM crew wear. You Spidey heads all know this as the Paramilitary 2 CruCarta, because it is scaled in kind of fuzzy natural canvas micarta that will become less fuzzy the more you use it, and more rich and brown and smooth. 4-way tumble polished pocket clip. The blade, CPM crew wear. Made in Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. Blade is 3.5. Handle 4 13/16. Compression lock. Phosphor bronze washers. Dropping freely. Locking up rock solid. Centering is perfect. Where are you, the tip? There you go. Oh yeah, what a beautiful example. So these are available currently for a map price, web retail of $217, brand new. Let's do this one at $160, like it is. $185 with an ApostleP edge. The Spyderco Paramilitary 2 CruCarta. Next up, we've got another Spidey, and it's another Paramilitary 2. This one in S110V, which means, I got to look for something. Okay, there we go. A Burlap G10. This one has a 4-way positionable clip. No original clip with this one. It's got the tumbled Casey Lynch titanium deep carry variety clip. The blade is S110V. 3.5 inches long. Handles 4 13/16. Rides on phosphor bronze washers. Rock solid lockup. Compression lock. Free dropping blade. Perfect centering. We will say near mint to like new in box, just a clip swap. These are currently available brand new online at your favorite retailer for $253. Let's do $180 on this one. $210 with an ApostleP edge on that S110V blade. The Spyderco Para 2 Burlap and S110. Next up, another Spyderco. It's a Shaman plain. Shaman plain. It doesn't need to be flashy. It is a working fool. There's your handle. Satin finish black G10 with big radiused corners. A tumbled 4-way positional clip with the lanyard hole in the middle. Compression lock mechanism. The blade in a stonewashed S30V. Blade length on the Shaman, 3 5/8. The handle, 4 11/16. Interesting, as robust a knife as this is, has a better blade to handle ratio than a Paramilitary 2. Shorter handle, longer blade. Lockup, dead rock solid. Almost a free dropping blade action, kind of hydraulic. Smooth and beautiful. Centering on this one is perfect. Dead solid lockup. Near mint to like new in box. This knife currently available at your favorite web retailer, brand new for $270. Let's do this one at $195 like it is. $220 with an ApostleP edge. The Spyderco Shaman in black and S30V. Next up, back to Great Eastern Cutlery for a little bit. This offering is of the Northfield Unexcelled line. It's the model 542123 in Desert Ironwood. It's the 54 Big Jack. This one was a special factory order for Jason Toon at DLT Trading, as evidenced by the oak leaf shield. Beautiful Desert Ironwood covers. Lined nickel silver bolsters. The large cigar, with a single spear point blade, the DLT etch, cut swedge long pull. I'm rating the pull at 7.5 to 8. Walk and talk are super sweet. Centering is off a bit. Favors the top as you're looking at it. We'll call it near mint to like new in tube. These are out of stock. No sold listings on eBay, but current listings ranging between $295 and $518. All buy it nows. We're not going to charge you that much for this one. Let's do it at $220 like it is. $240 with an ApostleP edge. The GEC Northfield number 54 Big Jack in Ironwood. Next up, another Great Eastern Cutlery from the GEC Practical Knives or the Acorn series. It's a Range Rider hoof pick knife. Model number 725224 HP in Jigged orange Delrin. Going to come with a Range Rider button. And here's the knife. 3 13/16 inches of closed length. Beautiful Jigged orange Delrin. Acorn shield. Plain nickel silver bolsters and brass liners. The blade is 420 HC. Range Rider etch. Single drop point with a drawn swedge and a nail nick. Let's see, pull weight. We'll call it an 8. Perfect walk and talk. Perfect centering. Hard to see because there's this big hoof pick in the way. Yeah. Not only could you clean the bottom of a horse's feet with this, you could also get the gunk out of your own shoe sole, couldn't you? There's probably other things you could do with that. I don't know. Man, that's got a spring, that hoof pick. Oh, by the way, closed length 3 13/16 if I didn't mention it. Anywho, near mint to like new in tube with button. Couldn't find any listings for this knife anywhere, but we ran one last week that was in ebony, and we sold it for a bit more than we're pricing this Delrin one at. So let's do $145 on this one. Why did I say no need to sharpen? Oh, because it's already got my edge on it. Son of a gun. No need to sharpen. Yeah, that's the GEC Acorn 72 Range Rider in orange Delrin with an ApostleP edge. $145, shipped priority mail. Next up, oh my, we have a Northfield from Great Eastern Cutlery. It's a number 745120. It's a Mustang. And look at this beauty. Satin hardware, triple lined, nickel silver bolster, crest shield, Arizona ironwood. I don't think the light is doing this justice. It's pretty cool stuff. Lots of swirlies in it. Kind of dark. We've got 3 13/16 inches of closed length, 1095 drop point blade Mustang etch, drawn swedge, nail neck, 7.5 pull, perfect walk and talk, perfect centering, near mint in tube with button. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $231 and $418 for an ironwood covered Mustang. This one can be yours. Near mint in tube with button for $220 like it is, $240 with an ApostleP edge. The Rob's pick tonight, the GEC Northfield number 74 Mustang in ironwood. Next up, we have another Great Eastern Cutlery Northfield offering. This is model number 811217 in Gabon Ebony, satin finished. Blade, by the way. Oh, this is the 81 Moose. Kind of an uncommon pattern, I think. 4 inches of closed length. Gabon Ebony covers, cloud shield, double lined bolsters. We have a satin etched with Northfield, clip point main, long pull cut swedge, a little bit of a pepper spot right by my thumb, and another one over here on cam tang. Secondary blade, full length spear, long pull cut swedge. A little bit of blade rub. So let's see. I'm going to say the pull about a 6.5. Walk and talk very nice. Blades are well centered. We'll say this one is near mint in tube. Unobtainium, can't find this knife anywhere. Let's do $180 on this one. $210, I sharpen both blades. That is the GC Northfield number 81 Moose in Gabon Ebony. Now some fool put this back in the tube. Who was it? Next up, I got to unwrap it. I'm not sure why I did this. What we got here is a number 81 Coon Skinner, model 818222 in snakewood. Now the D stands for deluxe snakewood. They graded this snakewood. The prettier stuff got called deluxe. The less pretty got called standard. It is also a store only, and frankly, I'm not quite sure why. Here we go. 4 inches of closed length, 1095 blades, snakewood covers, good looking snakewood, double line bolsters, crest shield, and we have dueling muskrat clips. So this is a congressing knife. The Moose before had a center liner. The Coon Skinners do not. Match striker nail neck, drawn swedge on the muskrat clip. A little bit of rub, but not horrible. There it is on the corresponding blade. Pull weight about 7. Great walk and talk, and nice blade alignment. Near mint in tube. Found 2 of these in sold listings on eBay. They did $230 each. We're going to offer this one at $210, like it is. $240, I sharpen both blades. And be careful in your I'll take it, because I have twins. This is the deluxe snakewood, store only. And guys, I can't really find a reason it was store only. It might be because the snakewood is a little raggy, but it's not. There are guys who just love the raggy, so I don't know. So yeah, 210 like it is 240 with my edge. The GEC Northfield number 81 Coon Skinner Deluxe Snakewood, store only. Of course, we're really not sure why. And that'll bring us to the next knife, which is the other 81 Coon Skinner, this in standard snakewood. And frankly, the standard snakewood knife isn't really any less beautiful than the deluxe one I just showed you. So here we go. I guess the snakewood pattern might be a little less defined, but I don't know that it really is. So 4 inches of closed length, double line bolsters, crest shield, dueling muskrat clips. This one might have a little less rub than the previous one. And both blades are going to have, maybe not, match striker nail nicks. Again, pull weight about a 7. Cam tangs, beautiful walk and talk. Pretty nice blade alignment. Near mint in tube. And as I said on the previous listing, there are 2 sold listings on eBay. Both of them sold at $230. Buy it now. We're offering this one at $210. Like it is $240. I sharpened both blades. That is the GEC Northfield number 81 Coon Skinner in standard snakewood. Now I got to wrap all this stuff back up. I don't know why I put these back in the tube. Maybe so I didn't get them mixed up. I guess that would have been smart. That ends the GEC party. Next up, we have one from Drop and Brad Zinker. No outer box, just a pouch. What a cool little knife this is. It's the Dogtooth frame lock in OD green G10 scales, blasted or satin finish. Deep carry right hand tip up only pocket clip. Now they call this a frame lock even though it has scales on both sides, and I'll show you why. Because those are pretty thick titanium slabs. I would have done that too. Nice engagement. Rock solid lockup. You got an S35 VM blade, 3 1/4 inches long. Kind of a nightmare ground Warncliffe. So a little bit of a more obtuse primary grind at the base. Which, you know, if you're cutting through some rope or something, using the base of the edge, that's kind of smart. Thinner out front. Pretty cool. Kind of an acid stone-washed finish over a blast. 4 1/16 handle, so super efficient blade to handle ratio. Very nice in the hand. Pocket clip deep carry right hand tip up only, and that is steel, by the way. We'll call this near mint in pouch. Beautiful ball bearing action. Great flipper tab for a small tab. Beautiful centering. Gorgeous knife. Near mint in pouch. Out of stock. When they were available, they were $130 web retail. Let's do this one at $85, like it is. $110 with my edge. The Drop Zinker Dogtooth frame lock. Next up, got one from Best Tech, and we're going to have pouch only, no box. This is the Best Tech Ascot. Pretty cool aesthetic on this knife. Carbon fiber bolsters, burl wood scales, kind of a gold anno aluminum pivot collar, and a very similar gold anno on the milled titanium right-hand tip-up pocket clip. I've got a ball bearing flipper. Flips beautifully. Stainless steel liner lock. Bladed in 14C28N. Largish knife. 3 15/16 inch blade. 4 13/16 handle. So nice efficient blade to handle ratio. There's a little cloudiness in that satin from a blade preservative that has sort of congealed. You could probably flitz that off. I worked on it a little bit with just some cleaner and a rag, but I didn't get crazy. Beautiful lockup. Nice ball bearing action. Perfect blade centering. So we'll call it near mint in pouch. Cloudiness noted. These are available new for $108 web retail. Let's do this one at $50 like it is. $75 with an ApostleP edge. The Bestech Ascot in burl and carbon fiber. Next up, got one from the Pena X series. It is the Old Moolah in black micarta. So, titanium frame lock knife, black canvas micarta inlays, milled titanium right hand tip up pocket clip, steel inserted titanium lock face. It opens with good old thumb studs, but on ball bearings. Blade is M390. Kind of a swedged spear. 3 1/4 blade, 4 5/16 handle. Rock solid lockup. Nice hidden lanyard pin. Near mint to like new in box. When these were available, they were $2.99 web retail, but they are discontinued and out of stock. Your price on this one, $200 like it is, $230 with my edge on that M390 blade. That's the Pena X Series Old Moolah. Next up, I got one from the Chavez Ultramar line. It's the T.A.K. in stonewashed titanium and a belt-finished drop point blade. Super cool little knife. So it is a titanium frame lock with titanium scales that are anodized blue. I know that's kind of an odd combination, but that's what it is. Look at that. Ambidextrous Mick Jagger skull clip in titanium. Ball bearing pivot. Thumb stud deployment. Hard to see under the thumb stud, but the blade steel is M390. The blade is 2 3/4. The handle is 3 7/16. You heard that right. Look how far forward the pivot is. Super efficient blade to handle ratio. It's kind of a 3-finger handle with the pinky hanging out off the back, but solidly. Lockup is rock solid. There's your engagement. Ball bearing action is beautiful. Centering is perfect. Just some. This is a stonewashed anodized scale set, so it's already got, you know, a little bit of aesthetic texture because of the stonewash. Pretty cool. Near mint to like new in box. Out of stock at $240 web retail. Let's do this one at $150 like it is. $180 with an ApostleP edge on the M390 blade. Very rare in blue and great looking. The Chavez Ultramar T.A.K. Next up, another one from the Chavez Ultramar line. This one is a Redemption drop point with the black PVD blade and green canvas micarta inlays. There you go. Looks like glass bead blasted titanium. OD green micarta inlay. I'm sorry, only one. Right hand tip up Mick Jagger skull clip. Thumb stud deployment, ball bearing pivot. Tumbled black PVD. Blade steel is S35VN. 3 5/8 blade, 4 5/16 handle. I love that these Chavez knives, although rather chunky in handle, have so efficient blade to handle ratios. 3 5/8 by 4 5/16. Very cool. There's your lock engagement on the steel inserted titanium frame lock. It is rock solid. Super free and smooth. Great action. And there you are. Beautiful blade centering. I think I said very slight trails. Let's see if I can get the light to reflect. Maybe. Been carried a little. Discontinued, out of stock. Let's see, but Arizona Custom Knives has a used one for $395. Sold listings on eBay, $300 to $557. Are you kidding me? This one can be yours, $225 like it is, $250 with an ApostleP edge on the S35 blade. The Chavez Ultramar Redención drop point, OD canvas, and a PVD blade. Next up, got one from the Giant Mouse Ace series. It is the Rio. So if you're from the Midwest, you know what REO stands for. The Ransom E. Olds Company. So when General Motors bought Oldsmobile from Ransom E. Olds, he started building trucks, heavy trucks. The REO Speedwagon. So the REO knife is an homage to the Ransom E. Olds Corporation. This knife is finished in denim micarta. Pretty cool little blade. Great slim pocket knife. Good looking blue denim, and it's diamond milled. Opens with a hole. There's your blade. CPM Magna Cut, 3 3/8 blade, 4 5/8 handle, stainless steel liner lock, locking up thusly, ball bearing pivot, but it opens with a hole. I bet you could get good at flicking that. Let's see. I don't know. You probably could. Pocket clip, deep carry wire affair that is ambidextrous tip up. Lock up, rock solid. Action is beautifully smooth on ball bearings. Blade centering is, I don't know. I wrote perfect, but it might favor the top ever so slightly. Near mint inbox. These are currently available new for $215 web retail. Let's do $145 on this one. $175 if you'd like it to come with my edge. Giant Mouse Ace REO in denim micarta. Next, got one from Pole Force, just in the pouch. A nice pouch though. This is the Mic 3 Gen 2 from Pole Force. Scaled in a sort of fine Anso pattern OD green G10. Same pattern on the titanium side. Probably a lion steel made knife because it's got the lion steel roto block. A nice sort of parkerized or black oxide coated deep carry pocket clip that'll be ambidextrous with the glass breaker nut. Opens with a thumb plate and a firm detent. Blade steel is Nyolox, a steel I tested in a Pole Force knife years ago. Pretty cool stuff. Extremely stainless, and I think it behaves a lot like a really good D2. Kind of difficult to sharpen, takes a nice edge, holds on to it for a long time. Blade steel, blade length is 3 3/4. The handle is 5 inches. A little bit of a stick in that non-inserted titanium frame lock, but not bad. Lockup will be rock solid. Centering is off to the bottom as you're looking at it just a bit. And the action is, I don't know, it's okay. And it's on Teflon. Near mint in pouch and unobtainium. Let's do, and these knives were probably like close to $300 new. Let's do 175 on this one. 200 if you'd like it with my edge. The Pole Force Mic 3 Gen 2. Next up, got one from SOG, and this is a model I have grown to like a lot. Let's see. Look at that label. There's all kinds of info. It's the Seal XR in OD green with a clip point blade and all plain edge, okay? A big, heavy grunt knife. So it is scaled in a polymer, FRN, I guess they're calling it. It is the XR lock, which is very similar mechanically to a Benchmade axis lock. It's a flipper, and it's got a very cool detent. A little bit sticky. There's probably a little oil on that ramp on the blade. There we go. It's working itself out. Ball bearing pivot, S35 VN blade, USA made, 3 13/16 blade, 5 5/16 handle. The back spacer is steel and it has an impact device on the back. The clip is a black oxide coated, ambidextrous, tip up. In the hand, it is gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. Lots of grip. I mean, a griptillion wishes it had that molded in checkering. It's beautiful. Lockup is rock solid. Centering is perfect. Not much to complain about. Near mint inbox. Web new pricing varies wildly. All I could find in stock were black ones, and they were between $150 and $224. You can't find an OD green one. You can buy this one though, in a superb example. $125 like it is, $150 with my edge. The SOG Seal XR in OD green. Next up, got one from Hogan, and here it is. Model 24277 Deca, clip point blade, dark earth G-Mascus scales. Such a great little platform. Definitely a bug out fighter. Slim, light, gorgeous layered G10 G-Mascus scales. The Able lock, which is an axis lock. Ambidextrous tip up pocket clip with fill tab. Thumb stud deployment. This is bladed in CPM 20 CV. Alan Elishewitz design. 3 5/16 blade. 4 3/16 handle. Great blade to handle ratio. Rock solid lockup. Almost a free dropping blade on phosphor bronze. Super flickable. Lockup rock solid. Centering. See if I can show it to you. It's perfect. Condition, near mint in box. Available new at your favorite web retailer for $175. Let's go $125 on this one, $150 if you like my edge. The 24277 Deca in dark earth G-Mascus from Hogan. Next up, a Spyderco. It is the Spy Opera, Maniago made by Lion Steel. Bladed in M390. Blade length 2 15/16. The handle 4 inches. It is a midlock knife, scaled in natural canvas micarta, deep carry, ambidextrous, wire clip, tip up, hidden lanyard post, midlock mechanism. Check out that free drop in action. Check out that beautiful blade centering. Gorgeous little M390 bladed gents folder. Rock solid lockup. Beautiful action. Perfect centering. Near mint to like new in box. You can buy these brand new for $197 web retail. This one, $135 like it is. $165 with my edge. Near mint to like new in box. What a great little Christmas gift that would be. The Spy Opera from Spyderco. And that brings us to the last knife in tonight's sale. It's from Zach Brown's Southern Grind. It's a bad monkey, and it's kind of a special bad monkey. Not only is it scaled in beautiful peel play carbon fiber, not only does it have that famous shorty Southern Grind clip, but it's got a license to Emerson Wave. Yeah. 4 1/16 inches of 14C 28N steel. 5¼ inches of handle. Beautiful in the hand. Thick titanium liner lock. Rock solid lockup. Beautiful, smooth, free dropping action on phosphor bronze. Perfect blade centering. Near mint inbox. These sell new for $261 web retail, but I'm going to tell you, that's too much for this blade steel. That's why we're selling this one for $160 like it is, $185 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Bad Monkey. Carbon fiber with a wave from Southern Grind. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Sorry about my throat. I was in the wind for 3 days and it shows. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking. I'll talk to you soon.